Hi, welcome to TTK. A few months ago, we sat down with a bunch of mums that were into BTS, so we decided to repeat that, this time with dads that were into BTS. We wanted to find out from BTS Army dads what it's like being a fan of BTS when you're a dad. These guys had a lot to say, so without further ado, let's get into it. Here's our interview with some BTS Army dads. If you're new here, please press subscribe and the bell notification button next to it, because it means you get notifications whenever we post videos like this, videos of us scratching our belly buttons. Stay tuned for our Twickenham tour.
Hello, I'm Philip and I'm in my mid-50s.
Hi, I'm Gary, I'm 61.
Hi, I'm Gavin, I'm 52.
Hi, my name is Adam, I'm 48 years old.
And I love BTS.
And I'm a BTS fan.
And I'm Army.
It used to be sort of like more old school dance music. I'm trying to think of some of the artists. Prodigy.
I like all sorts of music, so ranging from the Beatles to Adele to Snow Patrol even.
I was really into the Manic Street Preachers at one time.
Fans the Sparks, I don't know if you're aware of Sparks. Right, okay, you have to look them up.
90s, sort of 90s, Two Unlimited, Snap.
I'm seeing Keen in a couple of days in Copenhagen. You name it, I love it.
Fleetwood Mac, that sort of thing, a bit of Rolling Stones.
Oh, different really, I mean, I did like The Damned.
Always loved music, always been to concerts, love music.
Maybe the Beatles and BTS. Oh gosh, must be about 3 years now. Yeah, 3-4 years getting on.
Probably about 2 years ago.
But I travel the world quite a lot and I have some Korean friends, and somebody told me you must listen to BTS. So I thought, yeah, the polite thing to do. So I listened to what was then their most recent album, Map of the Soul Persona, and I thought, this is really good.
Classically, it was my daughter that brought me into it. She's a mad fan. And one day she announced to me that I got to hear this new boy band from Korea, and I thought, oh, here we go.
Obviously, my daughter got into BTS, and and the whole impact it had on her and the rest of the family, and that's when I became a fan as well. And I like the the message about love yourself and all that what they do. It's really, really cool.
I couldn't understand a word of the lyrics other than the English chorus lines, but it just sounded really good. So then I got more interested and started to research it a bit more.
It wasn't until my daughter showed me the video to Dope. That was nearly 2.5 years ago now.
Blown away. I was expecting a real sort of rocky, hard rock style, but the song she played me was actually DNA, so that was a good introduction to them.
Then I started to read all of the lyrics translated and started to understand some of the meanings behind it, which got me more and more interested. I then learned that the boys write most of the lyrics themselves, which I thought was really quite profound for boys so young.
And I was quite surprised that I would like them. I didn't so much fight them at first, but I thought, yeah, I'll listen to them, I'll give them a fair shout. Blown away. I think they're just a wholesome band. They are what they portray. They're not false. The message is fantastic that they put over, and that is something that really comes across. They're genuine. I think they really are genuine in what they say, because a lot of pop bands obviously say the right thing, but these are genuine. They just come across as really good, nice people.
Like I've said, the energy they bring to the stage, the commitment they bring to the stage, it's different, if that makes sense. It's an experience more than just listening to the music.
With me, I got into BTS through the music first. I just thought there's some really lovely harmonies, great tunes.
I just liked the music, yeah. I thought it was different to what I've sort of liked in the past, and I really liked it, yeah.
Obviously they do all sorts of styles. They do the rap, they do the classic soft stuff, so they're right across the board. They
seem more dedicated to what they do, but I think that's also because I've seen the Bring the Soul movie last year as well, so I saw some of that we saw that at cinema, and that kind of opened my eyes as to how much dedication they put in, and how much effort it actually is to do what they do.
I've never done this with any other group before or band before. I've just been purely about the music, but the whole journey just intrigues me. So it's kind of it's a journey. So I've just started watching I've watched a lot of the what are they called, the video bomb thingies, Army bombs, and I've started watching some of the Run BTS again in reverse order, and I just find some of them very, very funny.
They're doing it because they're genuine. They actually mean what they say, and that's a positive thing for children of any age.
Well, for me actually, so I went on a week holiday in Seoul, which was fantastic, and part of that was the BTS tour. They also included going to, I can't pronounce the name, so forgive me, but where they shared a dormitory, which is just this crummy little office on the 3rd floor. We actually got up to the 3rd floor. We couldn't get into the building because it was the room itself, it was locked. But I just love the idea of these 7, I think it was 9 at one point, trainees living in this tiny place. They must have stank like hell. Having to run up the hill to aunties to have their lunch and train every single day. Just, the friendship, the camaraderie, that kind of appeals to me. I mean, I know they're sort of known as being manufactured, and yes, they were put together, but there's a real bond, I think, that's developed.
Yeah.
Which I think, many bands just don't have. I've tried listening to a couple of things, but actually that music doesn't work. So in my mind, although they're clearly Korean and they come under the K-pop banner, I don't think of them as what I thought K-pop is. But then, what do I know?
So it's opened the door to other K-pop groups like Stray Kids. I know a little bit about SUBTEAM.
We almost went to see Blackpink when they came to Manchester, but we didn't.
Yeah, I've been getting into more K-pop now. Yeah. A bit Shiny, and I've been getting into Epic High as well.
ATs, that was the other one. Yeah, ATs was the other big one that I've kind of seen on. I've seen them perform. Everyone in the house really. So yeah, we watch it on YouTube. I've yet to go to a concert, but the rest of the family have all been to a concert last year, so we're hoping to go this year. So
my kids are aware of my love of BTS, and I'm trying to educate them. It's not quite their music yet, so primarily it's for myself.
I obviously listen to it with my daughter Amy and my wife Jill. Yeah.
I'm a member of one group on Facebook. I tend to be, because I'm a dad and I'm a bit older, I tend not to be as excitable about this sort of thing.
So I said, have you ever heard of BTS? And they just fell out laughing to begin with, but they're coming around.
I don't hide it. Obviously, if people want to know, I'll talk about it. But I try not to project it too much, because it's probably not the done thing for somebody of my age to do. But I tell people that I do like them.
No, none of my friends really know who they are though, so it's a bit weird that no one's really sort of heard of them. But
no, family are a bit, should we say, a bit puzzled. Although I have got one ally, I've got a cousin who's well into them, and she and her daughter came to Wembley.
I have mentioned my discovery of BTS to a number of my friends at a similar age, and most of it's been polite smiles, shall we say.
They're not on board just yet.
They're not on. They're on board. I mean, some are nice to me because they have to be nice to me because of what I do.
Friends are a little bit. Are you serious? They're a boy band and they're Korean, But I always tell them, listen to them. Just don't judge. Listen to them. You'll see why I got into them.
Don't think it really worries them, to be honest. I mean, it's my choice. No, it doesn't bother them at all.
I get the rolled eyes sometimes when I tell them, or I get the who, all that sort of business. But I like to educate people and try and steer them into that direction.
I think I think they think it's quite cool. If Dad's happy, then they think it's great. They let me play it in the car, which is nice.
Have you tried showing friends BTS before, and how have they responded?
I haven't. No, not really. I've said to them, like, have you heard of them? Or like before we was going to go to Wembley, I was saying to them, we're going to Wembley, and they say, oh, I've not heard of them.
That's totally fine. No, there's no weirdness associated with it at all. So it's totally cool.
People are saying that, you do realise they're a boy band. You don't think it's a bit inappropriate for you to like them? And I'm thinking, well, I like the music. I don't see what the problem is. Speaking of Korea, we're hoping to go to Korea this year, hopefully, if things work out. But that's not just for BTS, obviously. It's a culture thing, that she likes the culture and the people. But I don't know. It does seem to be a bit of keep it quiet that you like BTS. I will. I'll shout it from the rooftops if I need to. I'm quite happy to spread the message,
So they said the experience was absolutely amazing. They said it was you have to be there to experience it, because we've seen it on TV now since, and they said it's just not the same as being actually there and actually in the stadium.
Oh, unbelievable. I didn't expect to enjoy it that much. I mean, I was obviously going to enjoy it because I was with my daughter as well, but I was blown away. Wembley Stadium, yeah.
How would you describe the environment at Wembley?
Oh, superb. Inside and out of the stadium. Everybody was so happy, everybody was so chatty. There was no age barriers, because I was obviously aware that I'm, an old dad sort of thing, but I didn't have to worry at all.
Wembley Stadium's so big, and I just totally forgot how big it was when we went there. It was unreal.
I mean, this year's going to be total domination, of course, with the new album and the tour.
Obviously, they're just getting bigger and bigger, and it's obviously just an emotional trip for the whole lot of them, I think.
I don't really think they can get much bigger than they are doing, but I think it's recognition that they're lacking. For some reason, as big as they are, quite a lot of people, and I find this when I talk about them, who are BTS. And I think they should probably, I don't know if they can work on it, but I think we as ARMY need to put the message out a bit wider to people.
So I think they'll reach the pinnacle. I think the question is rather what happens next, obviously with the National Service question coming up. And our good friend Jin, I think, has to go at the end of the year, I believe, or thereabouts. So I think the question for me is actually what happens to the band after 2020.
I think obviously this tour is going to sell out like it did before, so hopefully they'll do more tours and get bigger and bigger.
What do you think about BTS not being played on the radio?
That's very sad. I mean, I as big as they are, I thought they would have been an automatic. They're on the radio every day, but we as my daughter does the same thing. We're scouting, we're looking for them on the radio. We can't find them. These guys are good. They're good at what they do. The sounds they produce are wonderful. The dancing is wonderful, and the message they put across is fantastic. They can't do any better than the message they're putting across. It's all positive. I can't see any negatives about them.
The BTS music is brilliant for kids. I think the messaging, the self-confidence, a little dig at authority as well. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic.
I think the message really is, love yourself, and it doesn't matter, whether who you are, what you do, and it's just be proud of yourself and love yourself.
It's all positive. It's all love and happiness, and I don't see any negativity about them at all. They're the sort of guys that I could introduce to my daughter, basically. Yeah. So I'm happy that she likes them and she adores them.
But with BTS music, I feel very safe for it. If they can get into it, I think it'd be brilliant for them.
Yeah.
But you can't push them; they have to develop it. I got little hints. Yeah.
But I definitely think that BTS is a safe bet for kids to listen to, and I think the message that they're trying to transmit to everyone is a really good message.
I have young kids. I try and tell them to be more confident. To like what's in you. It's a really fantastic message, coupled with some really, really good music.
What BTS's message is?
Be good to each other, be nice, focus on your dream, go for your dream, do it.
It definitely has, yeah, I think so.
Oh, it's brought us closer together. We were always close anyway, because she doesn't actually live with me now, but we were always close, but this has really brought us close. She gets very emotional that I like them, which is fantastic for me.
I think for me, it's the impact it's had on the rest of the family. It's been so positive.
And I'm not forcing it. I do genuinely like them. So we talk about BTS all the time. We're texting each other about them. Have you seen this latest video? Have you seen the latest news? When are the tickets for Twickenham going on sale?
It's strengthened it. It's made it. Yeah, it's obviously brought us closer together. It brought everyone closer together. To be fair. It's it has a really positive impact on everyone.
But she said, Dad, don't worry, it's actually so cool that you're doing, you're just a cool dad. And I mean, for a father to hear that from a teenage daughter, it doesn't get any better, does it?
Do I have a bias? We were talking about this earlier.
I have two, actually.
Okay.
So the obvious one, of course, is Namjoon, Kim Namjoon, because he's just super bright, 148 IQ, I believe.
J-Hope.
Why?
Why? He's such a smiley person. He's always smiling. He's always happy. He seems like the joker of the pack, and he's just a nice guy. But I have got a bias wrecker, and that's V.
Why?
I want him to meet my daughter and marry her because she's.
I think RM.
Okay.
I think RM.
And some of the real profound stuff comes from him. So I think he's an absolute superstar. But I love the fact actually that he's also quite clumsy and forgetful, which are traits that I share.
I knew you were going to say why. I think it was to do with the fact that he was talking at the end of the film, Bring the Soul, and that's the bit that that's the bit I think that got to me, to be fair. So he's kind of stood out more. So when I see the videos, he's the one I kind of see more than the others. So
I have a soft spot for Jin as well, actually, because I have I tell lots of awful dad jokes, which my kids just roll their eyes at.
my wife is J-Hope, and my eldest daughter is Jimin.
Okay, so there's no arguments that can happen.
No, not yet, not yet.
I love the fact that the BTS don't laugh at Jin. They laugh at him, I think, but not with him. No. Particularly Sugar. What would I like to say to BTS? Would I like to thank them for what they're doing?
I would thank them for doing what they do, and to beg them to keep on doing what they do and don't change.
Send them a message. Oh, blimey.
Yeah, I think I say thank you. I say, thank you for everything you've done and all the effort you've put in, and and keep on doing what you're doing.
And just thank them for putting a good message across and making people like my daughter very happy.
For bringing joy to a lot of people, but selfishly to giving me a whole new genre of music, which I thought I would never get into in a million years.
Hard to say, really. I'd just probably just thank them for what they've been doing and just say to them, carry on with the good work that they're doing.
Yeah, and I think actually I'm never awed by people, but I think if I met RM, Kim Namjoon, he's probably the one person I would actually be a bit starstruck, actually. I thought the same to begin with, but as you research online, you get to realise actually their audience, their fan base is quite diverse.
So I think they appeal to everyone. I haven't really noted that it's screaming teenage girls, to be fair. I think there's a lot of people that, lots of people from all different backgrounds that like them.
No, that's totally wrong. I mean, look at me. I'm a 52-year-old dad, and no, I really enjoy them, yeah.
When I went to the house of BTS in Seoul, I did secretly fear that I might stand out like a sore thumb here. And yes, the majority of the people there were younger Korean girls. But there were so many, there's such a huge minority of people who looked a bit like me or different races, and I felt very at home there. And also the attitude, there was no giggling and pointing. I just felt very at home there.
Not at all. I must admit I had that stereotype in my head. And yeah, there were a lot of screaming girls, obviously, especially in front of us. But no, there was a great mix of people my age, people older even.
Having seen the people coming out of the when I drove down to pick the guys up after the concert, and it wasn't all screaming teenage girls coming out. It was people from all walks of life and all ages.
Well, we've heard them on Radio 1. I think Jessica heard them on an independent radio station once up where I live.
It's kind of frustrating in a way, because you kind of look for it, and we've got the digital radio in the car, and they're never on. So I tend to play it on an app.
It got to the point where she was actually texting me to say they're on the radio. She's quite excited about it, but I think they should be on a lot more than they are.
So I've got the Amazon Music app, and I play it through that. But yeah, it's frustrating, and I don't know why it's not on the radio, because like you say, they filled out Wembley 2 days on the trot, 90,000 people each day. But yeah, they've been on the radio a handful of times. I've only heard them once, twice maybe on the radio.
Obviously they come on a couple of chat shows, didn't they, over here? But
did you watch them on Graham Norton?
Yeah, I saw them on Graham Norton. Yeah, that was about it really. Obviously they was on the Late Late Show, wasn't they? They've been on that a few times. That was it seemed to be bigger in America.
When the single drops or something.
Yeah, when a single drops. I know they're on TV once on Graham Norton, but didn't Simon Cowell have them on one of the?
Yeah. Britain's Got Talent.
Britain's Got Talent, yeah, and that's it. So the exposure, really, I suppose, from popular media has not been that good for them. It would be a travesty if they didn't. I mean, they're obviously already a global brand. They're extremely popular with everyone. So yeah, I think they probably will get more airtime on the national radio.
I don't see what there are other songs have been played in foreign languages, Despacito and all that, and people don't seem to question that, but I don't know. I don't get all this negativity about the foreign language, and of course they do sing in English as well. So I mean, it's the same when we go abroad. We expect people to speak English, and it's a bit arrogant and a bit wrong, but we're working on it, hopefully.
Thanks so much for watching this video. We found it really interesting hearing from the Army dads. It meant a lot for them to share their experience with us, and we hope you gained a lot from it too. Are you an Army dad, or do you know an Army dad? What has their experience been, or what has your experience been? Let us know in the comments. Also, let us know who or what group of people you'd like to see us interview next. Thanks so much for watching. Press subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and make sure you press the bell notification button next to it. It's good for your health. And then allow all notification when it pops up. And on that note, bye. See you later. Thank you to this month's Patreons. Your names are below. We couldn't have made this video without your support. If you want to find out more about that, click the little button down there that will take you to our Patreon.